Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's retirement ceremony in honor of Colonel Michael E. Rivera. The presiding official for today's ceremony is the Commanding General, 8th Theater Sustainment Command, Major General David Wilson. Please rise for the entrance of the official party, the playing of honors, and the playing of the national anthem by the 133rd Army Band. The national anthem will be followed by the invocation offered by the 5th Special Forces Group Chaplain, Major D.J. Brock.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we are gathered here today reflecting on the wonderful careers of a man who sacrificed his time and his life, keeping our nation safe. May you bless Colonel Michael Rivera as he starts a new chapter in life with close friends and loved ones. Provide for him bountiful blessings for his new endeavor and for a much-deserved time with family and a peaceful and joyous life. As he reflects over the careers and cherishes the bonds of friendship, past and present, may he see that it was your outstretched hand that ordered his step to this very day. Continue to bless everyone here and be with us all. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Brock and the 133rd Army Band. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the official party. Major General David Wilson, 8th TSC Commander. Colonel Michael Rivera, accompanied by his significant other, Miss Maxine Harvey, Colonel Rivera's sister, Mrs. Anna Marie Rivera, and his family. The 404th Army Field Support Brigade would also like to welcome the following distinguished guests to today's ceremony. Please hold your applause until the end. In our audience today, we have Command Sergeant Major Frank Graham, 8th TSC Command Sergeant Major. Colonel Martine Kidd, 593rd ESC Commander. Command Sergeant Major Terrence Scarborough, 593rd ESC Command Sergeant Major. Colonel and Mrs. John Ritante, 404th AFSB Commander. Command Sergeant Major Kendra St. Helen, 404th AFSB Command Sergeant Major. Virtually joining us is General Edward Daly, AMC Commander. Command Sergeant Major Alberto Delgado, AMC Command Sergeant Major. Major General Charles Hamilton, Assistant Deputy Chief of Staff, G4. And Brigadier General Stephen Allen, 19th ESC Commander. Finally, we would like to extend a warm welcome to all commanders, sergeants major, co-workers, and friends from near and far. Thank you all for joining us to celebrate this special occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome Major General David Wilson to the podium for his remarks.
All right, good morning. General Daly, Command Sergeant Major Delgado, Major General Hamilton, Brigadier General Allen, Command Sergeant Major Graham, Colonel Kidd, distinguished guests, family, friends, soldiers, non-commissioned officers, and civilians of the 404th Army Field Support Brigade. It's an honor for me to be here with you this morning to celebrate the remarkable career of one of the Army's finest senior commissioned officers and leaders, Colonel Mike Rivera. We're here today to recognize 25 years and 67 days of dedicated and extraordinary service to our nation and to recognize the accomplishment and sacrifices of a fellow warrior logistician. I would like to start by sharing with you some advice, though, that a senior leader gave a group of retirees. And I'll start with his first piece of advice. His first piece of advice is that regular naps prevent old age, Mike. Especially if you take them while driving. Second, retirement is a time in your life when time is no longer money. Third, the reason grandchildren and grandparents get along so well is because they have a common enemy. Fourth, Mike, money isn't everything, but it sure keeps you in touch with your children. Fifth, he said, age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Six, be nice to your kids because they're going to choose your nursing home. And finally, have you ever wondered why retirees smile all the time? Well, that's because they can't hear a word that you're saying. You know, Confucius said, choose a job that you love and you will never have to work a day in your life. So, Mike, please tell me, how exactly can you retire when you've never worked a day in your life? I say that in jest, but seriously, I'm about to tell you about a soldier and a leader who has worked hard and served his country with distinction and honor for nearly 3 decades. But he didn't do it alone. So before I begin, I want to take a minute to recognize some very important people to Mike. Colonel Rivera's significant other, Dr. Maxine Harvey, who is an ophthalmologist and eye surgeon by trade. His younger sister, Anna Marie, who served in the United States Air Force as a senior airman, and her family who are here with us celebrating with Mike today. Virtually attending, we have his daughter, Isabel, or Izzy, as he calls her, who's looking forward to a future career in the art industry. His son, Justin, who aspires to be a commercial pilot and aviation engineer. His parents, Angel and Anna Rivera, joining us from Columbus, Georgia, who are both retired master sergeants with over 20 years of service in the United States Army. They are also veterans of Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm. So Angel, Anna Marie, thank you for your service. We all know what critically important role family plays in the life of a soldier. Strong families add to the strength of our Army and our organizations. And Colonel Mike Rivera's family stands as a model for every American family. For this, they deserve recognition. So please join me in a round of applause to the Rivera family, out in social media and present. So, Mike, again, it's an absolute privilege for me to be here with you and play a role in this ceremony that honors your dedicated service to our great nation and our United States Army. You know, retirement ceremonies are bittersweet. You know, our emotions are mixed on this day. We're kind of sad to say farewell. We're grateful to have had you on our all-star team. And we're excited as we look forward with anticipation to the adventures that will await you in retirement. You know, before I talk a little bit about Mike's service, I got a call. I think I was in the Hoffman building in the 2006-2007 window. And I was talking to a buddy on the phone, and he said, Dave, we got a young officer who's, battling some cancer. And I said, really? And I'm a stage 4 cancer survivor. I was given 21% chance of surviving, only had a potential 90 days to live. And when he told me about the young officer who was going through a situation with cancer, I said, hey, I need you to give me his contact information. I need to reach out to him. Because, what I don't want the officer to do is take a sentence that man is dictating to him and count it as finality. And so that young officer that I reached out to happened to be Mike Rivera. And Mike Rivera and I have kind of stayed in touch from that time moving forward. And I told him if he could beat this, any situation that he went on and encountered in life, he would always come out on the top side. And that you've seen for almost 3 decades. And where he has ended up in his career, commanding at multiple levels of command, culminating as a brigade commander in our United States Army. So I wanted to share personally how I came to know Mike, and it was through that event. Mike joined ROTC in 1994 at Columbus State University and was commissioned as a quartermaster officer in 1996 with his first assignment as a maintenance platoon leader in the 596 Maintenance Company in Darmstadt, Germany. He deployed with that unit to Bosnia, getting a taste of combat for the first time. He served in roles of increasing responsibility from Battalion S3 to Battalion S4. He had the pleasure of commanding 2 companies. And there's a rare case where we get our officers that get an opportunity to command at the company level twice. But Mike Rivera did it, both in conventional units and unconventional units. And he deployed doing both of those command tours, by the way. So think about what he's accomplished. He went on to serve as a battalion executive officer in the 10th Special Forces Group, followed by an assignment as J4 Plans Chief and J4 Deputy in the Special Operations Command in the Pacific. He commanded this 1st Special Forces Group Support Battalion, and later went on to serve in the Pentagon as the Senior Leader Division Colonel's Assignments Officer, followed by a year as a Army War College Fellow at the University of Washington. And now he culminates his illustrious career as commander of the 404th Army Field Support Brigade. You know, Mike is an extremely driven and goal-oriented leader, as evidenced by the fact that he was selected to be an Army War College Fellow, the fact that he's a recipient of the Master Parachutist Badge, the Rigger Badge, and the Combat Action Badge. He was a distinguished graduate when he graduated from the University of Kansas' School of Business and Global Supply Chain. He's a dedicated combat veteran with 2 unique deployments to Iraq, the first in 2007 in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom, and then in 2015 as a part of Operation Inherent Resolve. Highlights from his career showcase his exceptional service to our Army and the nation. And I'm delighted today to speak about this fellow comrade in arms. Retirement is not so much as about an ending as it is about a beginning. And it can be a difficult transition for those like Mike, whose service has been marked by extreme dedication. Dedication to his family, dedication to his community, dedication to the nation, dedication to the Army, its mission, and our soldiers. According to Vince Lombardi, the harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. And all of us in uniform, we never surrender. When we retire, we merely turn the page, just like Mike will turn a page, because the story isn't over. It isn't over by any means. George Washington once said, when we assume the role of soldier, we did not lay aside the citizen. And I would like to add, when we become a civilian, we don't lay aside the soldier. As long as we draw breath, we never stop serving. President Ronald Reagan said some people live an entire lifetime and wonder if they've made a difference in the world. But soldiers don't have that problem. So Mike, after you hang up your uniform, you'll continue to make a difference because you're a soldier for life. You represent the best of our Army and the Logistics Corps. And you'll do it now in civilian clothes. You'll never be truly absent from our ranks because your example has certainly left an imprint on all of us who have served with you in uniform. And so I don't know how you say goodbye to one who has left an indelible mark on our Army. I don't know an easy way to do it. I don't know if my words can even capture what our hearts feel today for all of us who've turned out for you. So we won't say farewell today because it has a sweet sound of reluctance. We won't say goodbye because it's short and final. We'll say on behalf of a grateful nation, the United States Army, and the sustainment community, that we thank you for your exceptional 25 years and 67 days of exemplary service and for a job extremely well done, taking care of soldiers and families. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for this great commissioned officer and his family. And so I don't run the risk of sounding like a Baptist preacher giving his trial sermon. I'll end my remarks there and ask Mike to come up so we can get on with presenting him with some hardware and celebrating his illustrious 25 years, 67 days of service.
Ladies and gentlemen, although it's customary to rise during the presentation of awards, please remain seated until the presentation is complete. At this time, Major General Wilson will present the Legion of Merit Medal to Colonel Rivera. Attention to orders. Colonel Michael E. Rivera, United States Army, distinguished himself by exceptional meritorious performance of duty throughout his 25 years of distinguished military service in positions of increasing responsibility, culminating as the commander, 404th Army Field Support Brigade. His professionalism, technical expertise, unwavering devotion to duty, and genuine care for soldiers marked him as a soldier's soldier and leader of the highest caliber who ensured mission success in the units he served throughout his career. Colonel Rivera's achievements, dedication, and exemplary performance of duty are in keeping with the highest traditions of military service and reflect distinct credit upon himself, the Army Sustainment Command, the Army Materiel Command, and the United States Army. At this time, Major General Wilson will also present the Certificate of Retirement, the Retirement Pin, and the Presidential Certificate. The retirement order reads, by order of the Secretary of the Army, Colonel Michael E. Rivera, you are hereby relieved from active duty, effective 30 September, and retired effective 1 October 2021, per Army Regulation 600-8-24 in the grade of Colonel. Active duty service for retirement, 25 years, 3 months, 17 days. Signed, General James C. McConville, Chief of Staff. The Presidential Certificate reads, Certificate of Appreciation for Service in the Armed Forces of the United States. Congratulations on your retirement from the United States Armed Forces. I am proud to have served as your Commander-in-Chief, and I am pleased to join your family, friends, and colleagues in recognizing your career and accomplishments. Throughout history, the dedicated men and women of our military have protected our citizens and preserved the ideals that make our country strong. Their courage and sacrifice have inspired countless people and have helped shape America's character. On behalf of a grateful nation, I thank you for your contributions to our security and to the cause of peace and freedom. Your service, patriotism, and selfless devotion have helped advance the universal hope of liberty at home and around the world. Jill and I send out best wishes for health and happiness in the years ahead. May God bless you, and may God continue to bless America. Sincerely, Joseph R. Biden. The United States Army is sincerely grateful for the contributions and sacrifices of Colonel Rivera. At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Rafael Jimenez, 725th BSB Commander, is presenting the retirement flag to show appreciation for Colonel Rivera's time, commitment, and 25 years of faithful service. Dr. Maxine and Mrs. Anna Marie, please come forward and join Colonel Rivera. Dr. Maxine and Mrs. Anna Marie are receiving flowers from Colonel Rivera in appreciation for their unwavering support. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Michael E. Rivera.
The emotions are riding just a little bit. You hear words, you hear just incredible, kind words, sir. General Wilson, just thank you. Thank you. When you read orders and certificates and your name's associated with retirement, and when you hear the words of relieved, the word has never been associated with my name. And there was probably times in my career where maybe I thought I was going to hear them, but I never did. And those of you who chuck on the back because you're great teammates and you're probably with me during those times. So I'm laughing, I'm smiling, so I'm trying to help myself relax here a little bit. So hey, it's a great day in the Pacific Northwest. Look at this weather, right? Just didn't know how I was going to hold up, but I think it's very appropriate. At least for me, it resonates, as General Wilson mentioned, and as you read in the bio, I had the great opportunity to serve here twice. Battalion Command with 1st Special Forces Group, and I see those Maroon Berets and I see the yellow flashers. Thanks for being here. And then for Brigade Command. So this location, the weather, I think it's quite fitting. I'll get through these marks here pretty quick, I promise you. But first, I want to start really by thanking God for the last 25 years. There are more than multiple occasions where there's times where I went into prayer a little bit more, some deep prayers in terms of just events throughout those 25 years, professionally and personally. And through His grace, it got me through those things. And I know without Him today, I wouldn't be here today. He's been with me on this journey, and I know He'll continue to be with me as I walk forward into this next journey. My two amazing teenagers who are not here today just based on COVID and just safe precautions, if you will. Izzy and Justin, just phenomenal teenagers, and I'm really blessed to have them here. think they're watching virtually. If not, I'll know they'll watch the video playback and they'll see the pictures. And I think it's pretty traditional, and I know it means a lot to me. I've got my 2 sets of dog tags that they will receive in a very special ceremony that we'll do one-on-one. But proud of Izzy and Justin. I love you too. You are my world. Emotions. Whew. All right, so my parents, just phenomenal. 2 retired NCOs, and you would think with that it would have been a house of discipline and rules and checking if the bill's made properly, dress right, all that kind of stuff. It was the complete opposite, totally complete opposite. You know, I quite honestly never really them telling me to direct me to do something. Never inspecting the room or anything like that. They let me figure things out on my own. They gave sage advice, but they let me make decisions on my own. And that's from early childhood and then even through today. They're just great listeners. And you need people like that. It took me many years to realize that. But Mom and Dad, you know, thank you. I'm not sure if we got the technology figured out, as me and my sister have joked a little bit about, in terms of their ability to be on social media, etc. But we're getting some great pictures from Mom and Dad, and we'll get some video footage, and we'll get them caught up. But Mom and Dad, you know, thank you for not being disciplinaries. Thank you for giving me exactly what I needed. So I love you both. My sis, my little sister, she's 7 years younger to me, but there's times where she's like my older sister, giving me advice and counsel even till, you know, as recent as yesterday. And it's great to have that kind of relationship. You know, and you have the other forms of manners too, in terms of just serving, where sometimes you've got, you know, somebody that's part of your team. You know, that's, you know, at times you consider the boss, but somebody who's, we'll say, subordinate to you, who's coaching, giving you guidance along, and you got to listen. You find that, I think, professionally and personally in family life, and I think we've gotten much closer in the last few years. I left home 7 years sooner than you, and so we got a little bit disconnected. And then I know the last few years we've really connected a lot. And Mark, man, brother, Jacob, Abby, you guys are great. It's awesome to have you here today. I love all you guys. Thank you. All right. Woo. I've got a script just to kind of, really, it's an opportunity for me to kind of look down and kind of gain control of my emotions. Maxine. I'm excited and proud that you're here today. You came into my life unexpectedly. A phenomenal surprise. Didn't realize how much you come to mean to me. The times you share with me this time, we've gotten to know each other 2+ years. You're a lot of different things to me. A lot. And you give sage advice. Whether I'm always listening, sometimes listen a little bit more than other times. But you mean a lot to me. I love you. Nicholas and Shelley Jorgensen, thanks for making me feel part of your family. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for welcoming me. And of course, always thanks for all the good food and the good drinks that accompany that, and the laughs and the jokes. And Riley, I see you down there. Hi. Thanks for smiling. But no, you all bring me great smiles, and it's awesome to have you here today. The 133rd Army Band, Sergeant Smith and crew, you guys, jumped in at the last second to make this happen and be here. Thank you. I know you have busy schedules, and as we were kind of working through this, you guys, when we reached out, you you jump right in there. And I know you guys got busy schedules and high demand. I appreciate you. Thank you. Chaplain DJ Brock. So he came in over, I don't know, speakers, audio, Facebook, to give an invocation. DJ Brock was with me when I was in Battalion Command here previously with the 1st Special Forces Group. Just a phenomenal chaplain, and chaplains hold a dear place in my life, in my heart. I've known some great chaplains throughout the Army, and I found that chaplains, regardless of their denomination, their faith, they're incredible combat multipliers. Because even if, based on whatever your belief and faith is, they're also sound counselors and sound good people who will know the pulse of the formation, who know how people feel, and this keen knack of going up to leaders and pulling them to the side and talking. And DJ Brock was did that for me in Battalion Command. He showed up about 3 months after I took Battalion Command, and we served a whole tenure together in Battalion Command. And DJ, man, you are a brother to me. I love you, man. And you saw me professionally, personally through some tough times, some high adventures, some exciting times. And that organization in the Army today, as you continue to serve, and DJ right now is in 5th Special Forces Group at Fort Campbell. That organization is blessed to have you. Our Army is blessed to have you. And DJ, I am blessed to have you as a friend for life. So thanks, DJ. General Wilson, back to you, sir. Sir, it's tough hearing your talk, especially when, that mutual friend we have reached out to you, and you didn't hesitate 1 second. You got on the phone with this young officer, Mike Rivera, who was in this point of his life where I thought I was going to get a lot of things. Health-wise, I thought it was the end of my military career, et cetera, et cetera. But as you mentioned, sir, you coached, you talked me through it. You told me the emotions that I was going to go through. You told me the things that my mind was going to play on me. You told me how friends and family were going to be with me. You coached me through that. I mean, essentially, you gave me a playbook. And that playbook got me through it, along with some other great friends and family. But one of the key things you told me was like, Mike, a lot of people are going to reach out and want to help you. And sometimes you're not going to want help, Mike, for what you're going through. You might just collapse and just want to figure this out on your own. And you told me, in terms of, a fellow man of faith, you told me, what to do there. And then you told me how to deal with friends and family, things I needed to do daily. And there were some books you told me to read. I read those things multiple times, tabbed them, highlighted them. And it was perfect, sharing, your leadership. You didn't know me, but you were a leader. And just like you said, you immediately got on the phone with me and just changed my life, and it impacted me. So thank you. And then thank you for getting on the plane at the last second to get here. I know how busy you and Sergeant Major are, and I know what's going on out there in the world. And there's always a lot going on. And there's always something going on in the Pacific and other places. But for you gentlemen to jump on a plane and get out here and do this today, I am forever thankful. Thank you, General Wilson. Thanks, Sergeant Major Graham. All right, there's another great bunch of folks. General Daly, Sergeant Major Delgado. I know, General Daly, you sent me a couple of notes, and I think you were going to try and be up virtually. Not sure if you are. But sir, Sergeant Major Delgado, thank you for your leadership. You're just phenomenal. And there's a lot of great leaders that are talking to me daily. They'll send me messages. And 4-stars are pretty darn busy people, and their command sergeant majors are pretty darn busy. But when they're still sending you notes, as busy as they are, words of encouragement, words for thank you for service, words to say, Mike, I got pulled away at the last second, just means a lot. And General Daly, just phenomenal leader. Says advice, coaching, and in a previous job, you allowed me to have professional candor with you. We talked a lot of baseball. We talked a lot about what it means to know your jersey number, talent management, taking care of leaders, taking care of families and soldiers. And for somebody who at one point used to talk to you almost daily, I learned a lot during that time frame. But the most important thing, and I'd like to share with everybody, our senior leaders, they care about our service members and families always, and that's always a top priority because it's about people. General Deli, thank you. General Perna, not sure if you're watching virtually, but you're somebody else who's we've been communicating lately, and you've been wishing me the best of luck and sharing some of the emotions as I transition to my next journey, my next chapter. You're busy as well, and you didn't have to do that, but you took the time and the coaching mentor, and you gave me also in a previous assignment. I learned a lot. Thank you. Let's see, make sure who all. Colonel Kidd, we, years and years ago, in those climb the glory 10th Mountain days, you were an officer in those days that you were, when I came to 10th Mountain, you were a senior captain, but you had a great reputation. There's a lot of folks that me as a brand new captain kind of heard your name and reputation, and you had a lot of just great followings, and so it's no surprise you are where you are today. Thanks for being here today. I know 530C has a great command team. Terrence right there. Some folks know Terrence, we met my second year in battalion command. Terrence showed up the 1st Special Forces group, and, Army has things right and things just happen. And I was sad to see one Sergeant Major go, but then you showed up, and it's like, man, the Army knows I need a lot of help. And, Terrence, I said to Steve throughout the last few years we've known each other, and you've advanced very fast as a command sergeant major. And anybody who spends time with you, even just a few seconds, can understand why the Army has you moving the way you're moving. Because the Army needs you. I needed you, and the Army needs you. But I tell you, one of the most professional people in just every aspect. When you come to the room, you just exuberate leadership. And people are drawn to you. Terrence, I'm glad to see you here today. Thank you. Other distinguished visitors and guests that are dialed in virtually, thank you. All the notes and all the, recommendations and coaching you've been giving me the last few weeks, last months, thank you. I'll keep taking it, and we'll keep talking. John Kensley, pretty sure you're watching virtually, and we'll probably be talking later tonight over the phone or something. Thank you for leadership, coaching, mentoring, most of all your friendship. Great thing about the military, a lot of things start off as a professional relationship, and then they turn into just great bonds and friendships for life. And like a lot of folks that are here today, John Kensley's definitely one of those. We clicked right away, serving together in 10th Special Forces group with John Rotante. We clicked right away. And then I had to leave the team and go on and do other things the Army wanted me to do. But you were there for me through some tough times, through some tough decisions. And you're always there. And somehow you just have a way of knowing, even when I don't reach out to you, you reach out to me. Somehow you know when there's something going on that I'm wrestling with, and you pop up on the net, and you help me and give me sage advice. And you're a great friend, and I look forward to many, many more years of friendship. And I'm proud to call you my friend, John. I'm almost there. All right, another great American, Chief Warrant Officer, retired Wes, Lucas, Julie, the boys who are not here right now. Another, great friendship that started off as a professional relationship that turned into just an amazing friendship right now. And, one of the multiple reasons why I'm glad to be settling down and watching, at least for the next few years, is to have good friendships and good times like we're having right now, Wes, Julie. You guys mean the world for me, and you're very critical to me in my life right now. But Wes, man, professional relationship started off. You're somebody that I can always call upon. And sometimes you had to answer to me. Now, maybe just out of pure entertainment or because of our friendship, you'll respond back in a text or a phone call, or we'll hang out. Means a lot to me. Lieutenant Colonel Raphael Jimmy Jimenez, the 725 BSB Airborne Battalion Commander. Some folks call him Jimmy. Some folks call him Raphael. We came together, and gosh, I think we crossed paths when I was in SOC back in Hawaii, and then we got to work together in the 1st Special Forces group. And another thing that just started off as a professional relationship turned into a great friendship. And my friend, just to see where you've been, you were my SPO for a little while. You're a Group S4. So for some reason, you asked to come be my brigade XO from our 1st Year in Brigade Command. I said, hell yeah. And then you got taken away early to go be an Airborne Battalion Commander. And I've been watching you on Facebook. I've been watching your organization. It's doing phenomenal things. So my friend, keep doing what you're doing. You've got the door. You've got the ramp. Keep leading the way. Airborne. Where is she? There she is. CSM St. Helen. Another phenomenal command sergeant major. And, the Army has a way of partnering people up with you. They know when you need help. And in my case, over the years, I've needed a lot of help. And a lot of great folks I've mentioned have all showed up at the right time I needed them to show up, and the organization needed them to show up. You're an absolute professional. I think you showed up a great time in the 404th when we were going through some more transition and a whole lot of stuff was going to happen. COVID and just a bunch of other stuff. Your calm, your leadership, your sound counsel, professionally and personally, especially as I started to share with you what was coming next in my life. Just listening to you, or really you more listening to me, just kind of smiling. You had this way of kind of telling me, don't do that. Like, Roger that, Sergeant Major. And you're absolutely professional about it. And I always, when you came to the door in the office and you just kind of stood there and paused as I was on the computer or on the phone, and I'd look over, and you just, command sergeants can go wherever they want. But I knew when you would pause at the door, I was like, oh, I'm about to get counseled about something. So stop everything I'm doing and listen. And Kendra had a unique way of doing that, professional, and it meant a lot to me. Thank you. Rick Beasled. Once again, I needed a lot of help. Rick, you came a few months after I did. And I think just like a few others that joined the team, you and, sitting beside you, Pete Hurd and Steve Pate, once again, the Army thought I needed a lot of help, so they found a bunch of retired colonels and lieutenant colonels and sent them my way. It was just phenomenal. And just like I talked about CSM, not only did, we talk professionally, but you guys were great mentoring coaches and sounding boards for me professionally and personally. And each one of you also had your key way of coming to me and telling me, don't do that. And you coached me through some great things. And the Army and the 404 is lucky to continue to have your service and your leadership. Thanks for being here, guys, and thanks for being patient with me, and thank you. John, I'm not going to bring up that one story. Some other day. But hey, John, once again, and I'm being a little bit, repetitive from when we did this a few months ago. But John and Amy Jo, and it really resonates, back to those 10th Mountain days. Yeah, I spent some time in Europe as a lieutenant, but 10th Mountain days, those were my first days of a division, and really learning a lot of things and meeting folks like you, and then linking up later in 10th Special Forces group, and then, man, here we are again today in Washington. Just phenomenal. And John, I think you and I kind of get, I know, whenever we see each other, we just kind of smile. I think just because all the memories and good stuff we have, I think just start flashing between our minds, and we don't say too much sometimes. We just kind of smile. Like, hey, it's good to see you. But, John, it means a lot. You're doing great things. I know you're super busy. I know another person just got off a plane, and I think you're about getting ready to get back on a plane. Thanks for being here. All right, so that was a bunch of thank yous. There is kind of a speech. Some people, as I reached out, I was like, hey, what do I talk about at a retirement speech? A lot of folks said be short. So I'm trying to wrap this up. Some folks like, hey, a lot of folks will go through the bio and the history and all the great war stories. General Wilson did a great job with that already, and he pointed out the highlights, and you can read the bio and all that kind of stuff. So I ain't going to talk about there was my glory days. What I really like really quick is not everybody gets to serve and lead in the Army. A lot of folks do, and they're just not able to, for whatever reason. But they totally support our nation 100%, and they're always thinking about us. So it doesn't pass me that being able to serve and lead for 25 plus years was truly an honor and a blessing and a privilege. And every day, as I grew throughout those 25 years, I realized that more and more and more. You know, it's serving with honor. It's serving our country. It's serving our nation. You know, it's being part of something that's much bigger than yourself, and having a big impact. And all the folks here in uniform, the folks who served, who continue to serve, you know what that's been like the 25, 30, several decades that have passed by, everything our nation's been up against and everything we've been through. And it's been about, no one individual. It's been about a bigger, it's been about our country, our nation, right? It's defend the Constitution of the United States. It's to be readiness as a logistician, to make sure we're ready to win the wars of our nation, right? And we've been through a lot of conflict and resolution, resolve, all that kind of stuff. And it's serving for a greater good. As I look at other opportunities and adventures, the biggest thing when I talk to folks, what are you looking for? It's like, I want to have an impact. Well, you have an impact. Yeah, but I want to continue to have an impact, something that's bigger than me. Because I think when you're doing that, I think it's just the right thing, and everything else just kind of falls in place. But when I look to the left here, and I see our flag, that Old Glory, those stars, that red, white, and blue, and it's serving. It's about one individual, and I'm lucky to have been able to do that for 25 plus years, and I'm so thankful for that, to be able to have served. Leading. And I've had the opportunity to lead in a couple of pretty neat jobs. Got lucky. People liked me for whatever reason. Gave me command a couple of times. I got to command a couple of times in combat. Some great teammates, some great soldiers, some great friends. And I say soldiers, but not just soldiers, but really just military members, Air Force, Airmen, Marines, Coast Guards, just phenomenal military. And I've gotten to lead those folks. And at no point did I take leading those folks. It was a blessing. I was lucky to do it because I was leading the sons and daughters of our nation. And their parents or their loved ones or their guardians, their uncles, their aunts. Count on leaders. And I always knew that, and I always said, I always bear that on my shoulder. And before I made any decision, I'd always, okay, what does our nation need? And how do we best take care of the sons and daughters, our most precious resource of our nation? Because they'll be here, and they'll continue to serve, definitely beyond my time. And then for a lot of folks who are still here, very senior, bringing all your time too. So being able to lead them and being trusted with that, just phenomenal honor to have done. So serving and leading, and I'm thankful for all those who were in the uniform who continue to serve and lead. And just like General Wilson, it's not, as I've been talking to a few folks close to me, I keep hearing words retirement, and today I heard, I've been relieved. Those words just don't resonate well with me at all. And just like you said, General Wilson, it's soldier for life. And as I talk to folks, that retirement word I start to say, and it comes stuttering out of me. And I stop, and I was like, no, it's another journey, it's another adventure, it's another chapter. And it's a soldier for life, absolutely 100%. And for the folks who continue to reach out to me, that've been doing it and coaching, I appreciate that. That means a lot to me because it is a soldier for life. And then as I look at opportunities, what I do next, part of that will be how I continue to support the military in whatever fashion that comes in. So with that, I'm about done. Hey, so once again, it's been an amazing 25 plus years, phenomenal journey, great friends and teammates for life. I look forward to the next venture ahead. best part with a lot of folks like, hey, Mike, it's the next journey, but you know what? You still got those same great friends, those same great family members, those same great teammates, and that is so true. Amen. So thank you. It's truly been an honor to serve in the greatest army, the greatest military in the world. Thanks all for being here today. I think there's something where I'm now officially Mr. Mike Rivera. Soldier for life, though. So, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the men and women of the United States Army are proud to have served with Colonel Rivera and wish him and his family every success in their future endeavors. Please remain standing for Old Soldiers Never Die, followed by the Army Song, performed by the 133rd Army Band. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's retirement ceremony. Please join me in congratulating Colonel Rivera by the ceremonial flags, followed by a gift presentation and refreshments inside.